All right, guys, it's another Monday in July, and we have a brand new drop list for you. Some exciting books have made it, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back, Gainers, to another incredible, exciting, fantastic, super episode of Comic Game.
Yeah!
If you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is Princess Soraya Hines, looking very lovely today, looking like a Batgirl or Batwoman. She's holding a cocoa, doing that princess way, so bow down, respect, and
Right? Oh, yeah. So, we got a really fun episode for you today, guys. It is Monday, and we have a brand new drop list. There's some really, really cool books on here. One of them is actually one of Zach's GRAILs made on the drop list, and we don't have it, so he might be rushing out to get it right after this video.
Well,
there is something else he's going to be rushing to do, and it might make him do some rushing.
Yeah, das is good. We got here Zero Sugar Monster Energy Drink Zero Ultra.
The Zero Ultra?
That sounds like that My Hero Academia. Ultra Plus?
Zero Ultra?
No, that's one that's like abilities. Like Beyond plus Ultra, I think.
What's it look like?
I don't know. He just says it, and he goes like crazy. And this is what this looks like. And somewhere here is a 0.1. That's not going to be a thing. But anyways, energy drink.
They should name it Zero Cool.
Zero Cool.
From Hackers.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie.
Zero Cool.
Refreshing.
How is it? Good?
Kind of citrusy, I think.
Not bad?
Maybe that's the wrong word.
Better than the last one? A little monster action?
Better than the last one. Monster does it right. It does it right.
Alright, guys. So, if you're new to the drop list, the Comic Games group scours the internet for multiple different hot lists and trending lists from a year ago, and we kind of figure out which books have taken a huge dump, so to speak, on you, and
dump on you.
The prices have dropped, and some of these books are might be a good time to buy them because the prices dropped significantly from a year ago, and sometimes you don't want to get them because there's a good reason that they went down, and it's interesting, just to kind of go into it a little bit. We kind of look at some books, and sometimes we pick out books that were hot a year ago, and guess what? They're like hotter than they were, and they don't make the drop list. So it takes some research and some going through to figure out which books make the drop list. So, and I think even on some of these books this week have been on our trending list in previous videos and are now on the drop list. So that's kind of interesting. So, as it may be, we got a nice Deadpool background. We're kicking it off with our first book, which we don't have, and I think all of us want this book, is Deadpool's Secret Wars #2, the variant from 2015. This is Chris Baccello and Colin Bunn did the creative group on this book, and this is an interesting book. So it is first cover appearance of Gwenpool, not in story, and as a lot of you may well know, her first real appearance is in Howard the Duck #1, which is a cool book by itself. But you've got Deadpool's Secret Wars, which was kind of a cool story. It's like a retelling of Secret Wars, but Deadpool was really there the whole time. As you kind of go through the story, you learn that he has to save everybody everyone has to erase their memory of him ever being there. So technically he was there in the original Secret Wars before he was ever invented.
Yes.
Kind of cool. It was a cool story, and you get to see him healed for a while, which he has this sweet mustache in the story. But strangely enough, Gwenpool is nowhere to be found in the story. They just did an awesome cover with her chilling on a floaty, which is pretty amazing. But this book kind of goes up and down depending on what's going on. I know the Sharky guy was coming out, and she was kind of getting hot along with the Sharky guy, the Shark Dog Boy thing, and I don't know, taking a little bit of a dip. So as she does on the cover, what do you think, Zach?
Man, they're pig. That is all. So it sells a year ago was $330, and now sells are $221.50. Not too crazy of a drop. But it dropped a little bit. Ranges between $200 and $445. Average is $3 to $7.80. Gwenpool, interesting character. Interesting that they cut the series short.
Yeah.
I could see them because they did already a weird kind of story, Hit Monkey. I could see her coming to an animated show, or maybe even to the Spider-Verse.
That's a good point. Animated, yeah. Cartoon would be like a raunchy version.
I mean, they did
a Hulu raunchy cartoon.
Yeah, they did MODOK, and that was my cup of tea. I should try to rewatch it, but or watch all of it. But yeah, if they can do that, they can do Deadpool. It's not a bad idea to pick out this book. I am looking for a good deal on this book in a 9.8.
You know, it would be cool if they threw in that Gwenverse story going on right now too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're finding all those different Gwens. They might as well throw Gwenpool in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they should.
Just throw her in. Just do it, guys.
If you like Gwenpool, buy this book.
Yeah.
And if you don't, spec on it. You might make your money back. You probably will.
It's on all of our lists, I think. It's definitely on all of our want lists.
Absolutely.
Might be time. Okay. And by the thumbnail here, we have Detective Comics 359. We sadly enough do not have this book as well. This is from 1967. They have Carmine Infantino and Gardner Fox with the creative group on this book. And this is first appearance and cover of Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. It's also the reason I like this book. It's first Killer Moth in the Silver Age, so don't forget about that. But side note, this is one of Zach's grails. One of the things Zach collects on the side is female first appearance Batman books. It's kind of like one of those little genres you go. Yeah. He doesn't really collect the other Batman covers, but the first female Batman books, he does dig those, you know. And this is one of the ones he keeps looking at him. He's like, "Am I gonna pull the trigger? Am I gonna pull the trigger? Am I gonna do it?" And you know, maybe this time he might do it. But
just do it. This
book was hot a year ago, and this one goes in ebbs and flows a lot too. Like it just randomly gets hot. Used to be for like goofy reasons, you know, like what's that? The CW TV show kind of gets this hot every once in a while. But a year ago, it got hot because of HBO Max, because they're doing a Batgirl TV show on HBO Max, which they might finally do it justice. And they announced an actress attached to this role. So that happened in July. And you know what happens a year later? People forget a little bit. Even though this is going to be a forever great book. They forgot a little bit. Just enough to make it drop a little bit. And I don't know, Zach.
Maybe a little more.
How much did it drop?
So in a CGC 5.0, sales a year ago was $1,250. Now, $770.
Woo!
You can close to dropping on half, player. Range is $770 to $1,500. Average sales is $1,097.61. Buy, baby. No, but yes, buy this book if you got the cash. If you don't mind, it's a DC book. Buy this book. It's genius. It's genius. Silver Age goodness, guys.
Yeah.
Do it.
It's should only go up. And there's that chance HBO could finally do DC justice and come this awesome HBO universe for DC, which could be like crazy cool. It could also be crappy. But it could be crazy cool, and then all your dreams about your DC books coming to fruition could happen for you. Yeah.
And they could do many different styles, many different character traits. I mean, they could do this character up like perfectly, modernize, because Batgirl can be like in any generation. Just get rid of the cape, though. You don't need no capes.
No capes.
Just saying, no capes.
No capes.
Thor
they get caught in things, don't they?
Yeah, they get caught in things. That's how you die. You die because of the capes.
Yeah.
Not because of the villain.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what
I was gonna get you a cape for Christmas Day.
No. Unless they'll fly off and go over and get out of the way, like the Doctor Strange's cape.
Yeah, that's true.
If that cape does it,
I want cloak.
If that cloak does it, I want it.
Okay. All right. Next up on the list, and we actually have this book, and it was on a recent trending list. We have Iron Man 282 from 1992. A lot of twos there. This is the Kevin Hopgood and Ken Kaminsky creative group on this one. We did this one recently, so I won't dive too deep into it, but it's first cover appearance of War Machine with Tony Stark inside the armor. And this was getting hot a year ago with the Iron Wars TV show getting announced, and we all know, obviously, it's going to be Don Cheadle as kind of the main character going forward with this story. Possibly Riri. I would assume Riri's going to be involved in this as well. Sure. But it's definitely, of all the War Machine books, this is the one to have. And there's multiple good ones in there, but this is the one everyone kind of likes, basically because the cover is just badass. You know, you got the War Machine written over the Iron Man logo, but it's a cool book, and you know, for a while it was reasonably affordable. You could find a lot of them not graded. A lot of people didn't have them graded for a while. Now they're pretty expensive, especially if you get that. It's one of those ones where if you get the 9.8, it's pretty darn valuable. The other ones are decently priced, but the 9.8 is what you want to get. But before the show comes out, we haven't had any previews at all, and they haven't really announced who the bad guys are going to be yet for it. It'd be cool if it was Hammer again.
Yeah.
Like, you know, to bring back Sam Rockwell for Hammer would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But before that happens, it drops a little bit, and I don't know, Zach, it's time to get that Iron Man 282. Is it on your list?
So sales a year ago. Let's talk this through. Sales a year ago, $625. Now $550. Went up a little bit since we checked it, but yeah, it has dropped across the board. Range is $355 to $712.49. Average is $540.17. So it was selling towards a high, more likely than not. This is a very hard one because this one, the person that played War Machine or Rhodes, different actor from movie 1 to afterwards, and that's whole kind of, I think that's kind of weird, so it kind of throws me off. But yeah, this is a very, very good book, especially that Robert Downey Jr. will not be in the show, so someone will have to take over the role, and it's either going to be Riri or War Machine.
Yeah.
I mean, it could also be Pepper Pot.
Rescue?
Yeah, Rescue. Hopefully I'm saying her name wrong. I was saying her name right. I'm saying things wrong. This, I mean, I already have it. I don't know if I'd want to get another one, so I'm thinking like, it's going to go up. I like this book. I like the character, but
I like the cover more than I like the character, but
yeah,
I like this one book, but
yeah, it looks nice. I mean, I wish I had it in a 9.8. That's what I kind of wish. Yeah. So maybe you can, you know, fix my mistake. Not fix my mistake, but prevent yourself from making that mistake and get a 9.6 or lower. Get yourself a 9.8.
Yeah, you bought a 9.6 and we got one graded and it came back a 9.6.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not the same for me. It's like, oh man, I want a 9.8 or 9.9. Yeah, I'd say I'm halfsies. I would have to see the first preview, but by then it's too late.
You know what you do when you have a 9.6? You sell it on the high, and then when it goes back down low, you buy a 9.8 with that money.
That's it. That's it, exactly.
All right. Cool. Next up on the list, another offender of our list before, we have Marvel Point 1. Now? From 2014, you have Salvador LaRocca did the cover on this with various writers on this book because it's a collection of different stories. But this is a cool book, interesting book. I know, like, when I was getting really into Kamala Khan, this is the book I was hunting for. Mm-hmm. I was like, a couple years ago, I'm like, Zach, I need to get me a Kamala Khan first appearance, and we're getting that Marvel Point 1 now. So this is Kamala Khan's first appearance as Miss Marvel, and she has a couple of other ones that kind of go along with that, but this is her in costume. But you also have first Bruno, you know how much Zach loves Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno.
And then you have first Tanalith and Don Greenwood. So a couple other minor characters going along with this book. But as the show has wrapped up, and I thought it was a pretty successful show, kind of interesting, you know, I don't want to like too much, but kind of interesting how they threw that mutant thing in the end there. I'm not against any of that because they can go anywhere now, I think. But the book, all her books have dropped significantly because it's, you know, I think the show was still good. I just think it was a little on the younger age side, so I think it threw off some of those older collectors. They're like, yeah, because I know a lot of people that didn't even watch the show because they read the synopsis and were like, this seems like a kid's show, maybe we won't watch it. As true fans, we watched it. We wanted to see what was going on. But don't forget, it's a really limited print run. It's only 32,000 on this book, which is low for books at that time. And those other appearances are kind of bumping up, like that Captain Marvel 14, which is first cameo of Kamala, just as a regular character, is actually more expensive now than this Marvel Point 1, which was crazy. 2 years ago, it was not even close to it. And then you have 17, which is another cameo, which has a little bit of value. And surprisingly enough, there's the second print is really expensive, like double the price, that blue bottom, and there's a 1 in 75, which is over $1,000 raw, which I've never seen one of those in person.
No, I've never.
If you have enough money, that's a good one to invest in, because I think she's gonna go somewhere with the MCU and either lead a group if they bring champions. And finally, I feel like she would group up really well with Miles when they bring him. Leave her away from the Young Avengers and do the champions with Miles and like Amadeus Cho and them. You know,
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, do them TV style, leave the Young Avengers for movies.
Yeah.
Maybe. But as this book drops, this might be your chance to pick it up, guys. In between movies, shows.
Yeah. This book has dropped a lot. And a year ago, it was selling for $1,799. Mm-hmm. Now, last sale, $739.
Yeah.
Ooh, it dropped over $1,000. Oh my God. Range is $700 to $1,799. The high was a year ago. If you bought then, I'm so sorry. Average sales $1,104.47. I always see that as if it's below the average, it might not be a bad time to buy this book. Right now, I think this book should be on your list to pick up of the modern books. It should be fair. If you have a list of like Golden Age, Silver Age, Copper, Bronze, Modern, this should be close to your high because that $1,700 and $1,799 will go back up to that point. It's a given. It's going to happen. It just might take a little bit of time. She's not going away, guys. Mm-mm. She's not.
She looked cool in the costume at the end. When she put the costume on, I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." She should have been wearing that the whole time.
Yeah, that would have been so much better. Yeah. I mean, the one that had this much of a drop, but at the same time, this drop gives an opportunity.
Oh, I like that.
I would say 100% get this book.
Yeah, this is one of those like the modern heroes I thought we were priced out of for a while. You know, her and American Chavez and all of them where you're like, okay, you're not buying a 9A. I mean, you can't just like, unless you're like got a lot of money laying around, you can't drop $1,700 on a modern age key.
No.
You know, you gotta hope to find that raw, but $700 is doable, especially if you pay it over a 6-month period.
Or 24 months.
Yeah, or 24 months.
But that'll be for later.
That's on a different show.
It's on a different show. It's like, yeah, one place.
But good book, cool book. Keep an eye out for it. Now might be your chance because that's one of those books you got to get in between the movies and shows. Okay, last book, and
we don't have it.
Wish we had this book. I thought Princess had it, but she did not have this book. We have West Coast Avengers 61 from 1990. Roy Thomas and Paul Ryan did this book together. This is kind of like a small triple key. You got Scarlet Witch revealed to be the Nexus being for like the 616 universe. So she's like for the divergent realities, which I think that makes she's the same person in all the multiverses mixed together, which could be really important going forward because they did say there could be a divergent between a couple of the universes going on. But it's also the origin of Immortus, which is important, and it's a cameo of the Timekeepers Authority. So you got that triple action goodness. Obviously, for all three of those reasons, it was hot a year ago because all three of those things were important a year ago. And I think all three of them could be important in the future, just not right at this moment. None of those three reasons are highly, highly important, which is probably why this dropped a little bit in price, dropped significantly. Zach's looking at me. He's like, it dropped a lot more than you thought, brother. And it probably did. And on a side note, though, I kind of think it's cool that all these West Coast Avengers books are popping up. It used to be kind of a laughable run, and now it's like there's a butt ton of keys in West Coast Avengers. And if you could go out and find someone that's got a full run of West Coast Avengers and buy it on the cheap, you'd be a happy person.
Yeah.
You run home quick.
I go to the W's like, oh, every time skip over that. There's nothing good in West Coast Avengers. It's like, no, yeah. I should have picked up those books when they're like $2 a piece.
Mm-hmm. And you know who's coming next? Wonder Man. That's all new group of West Coast Avenger keys are going to start going with him.
Dang.
Yeah, so keep an eye out. But more importantly, is this one dropped a little bit. So what do you got?
And now it's on the drop. So price a year ago was $230, right?
What?
For a CGC 9.8. Now, last sell, $41.
Oh.
Price range, $41 to $230. Average, $117.20. I just say run from this book unless you get for, like I said,
41. I'd buy it for $41.
Yeah, that's if you can find it. I think there's less than 100 graded on the census.
That's the cool
Total. There's probably only 29.8s if I remember correctly. So you're not gonna find it. Someone that put in an auction with on the drop part of it where she shows up gets off, that was a mistake, my friend.
You're like, it's going up, but send it to CGC, and then you get it a year later and it's worth $40.
Yep, yeah. Probably people did that, and that's what's going to happen. They're probably crying right now, and I feel for you. It's happened to me.
Got my Marvel Point 1 back.
I thought we were going to have things back in like 2-3 months ago. Nope, nope, not happening.
We'll wait for the second time.
Yeah,
the second go around. So yeah, that wraps up our drop list for this week, guys. Some interesting books. I think there might be a book on there that Zach might be wanting to get. Yeah, some good stuff.
Yes,
But as usual, if you guys like and love the Drop Show, leave a comment down below. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Do all that good stuff. I'm doing it out of order for some reason. And notification. We are doing the next show. Will be live this Wednesday. We're aiming for 7 is the idea, but depending on how the day goes, it might jump up earlier. You know, some people said they missed it, kind of seeing how the day flows. But, you know, we're kind of leaving it out there. Zach, you got anything else?
Yeah, sure. How you do that is you have to be, wondering about a lot of things. Wondering about this, wondering about that. And you go around hanging around with a guy that always wears yellow for some reason. And he doesn't really watch you that much, which is a big mistake because you go all over the place. You have crazy adventures. I mean, if you read this stuff, you already know what I'm talking about, probably. And you're wondering, you're curious George. And you're hanging around with that one guy.
What are you talking about?
That one guy that doesn't really, he shouldn't be, watching over you because he's not doing a good enough job. But it gives us great stories. Curious George. I wonder. I'm so curious. And that's how you get those games. Okay. You see the box in the back? Hard to get to? Things all around it? What's in that box there, player? It's like, oh, that's been in there for 30-something years. Like, let's take a look. Let's do this. That's how you get those games.
Nice. All right, guys. Until we see you next time, stay safe and remember.
Get those crazy, wondrous, back of the room gains. I don't know what I'm saying. Get them.
Too much energy.
Too much energy.